Hey folks, Polytopia John Madden here, and today here is another match between Bardur and Yaddak. In this one, I am not Bardur, I'm actually Yaddak. I've been experimenting a bit with playing as this tribe. Let's see how this match turns out. So Bardur starts, standard Bardur opening, immediate upgrade. I just skipped that because I don't play Yaddak too much. So Yaddak player moves out very quickly. Bardur explores. Bardur upgrades their capital city, goes for the resources. Good move. Let me just go back a bit. So Yaddak at this point, this is probably not the best start for Yaddak. Anyway, so Yaddak's moved on to a village, has found another village way out here. Out here, which is pretty far away. It should be expected that there's going to be one around here, just closer to the capital city. Anyway, let's see how the rest of this turns out. Yaddak discovers organization, connects their two cities up to Bardur, captures their second city, upgrades their second city. I'll be super honest, Yaddak is not doing great here, right? So they, let me just go back a couple turns to kind of demonstrate this. Bardur is getting 8 stars per turn right now, all right? Yaddak is getting 3 stars. All right, now maybe by the end of this turn, they're gonna upgrade one of these cities, which I think happens, and maybe capture this one. So this would make one of these upgrades to 4, 5, plus something over here to maybe 7 if we're lucky. Again, let's see what happens. Goes for the upgrade. That's 5, so it's to 6 right by the end of the turn. Bardur goes, upgrades their second city, does a bit of exploring, captures their third city, goes for the upgrade. 2 upgrades in that turn, really good move. Bardur is off to a really great start. So Yaddak is trying to upgrade their cities, connects everything. Bardur then destroys the one Yaddak unit. Yaddak upgrades their capital, grabs the resources, discovers hunting. Hold on, let me go back. That actually may have been a mistake. And let's move a little bit. So at this point, they have hunting. That may have been the best move here because it turns out, upgrading either of these is going to require either forestry or organization. Not organization, farming. It actually may have been a better move to go with farming, because then this could be upgraded and this could be upgraded. That may have been a mistake on Yaddak's part. They're playing as if they're a Bardur player and trying to go up that section of the tech tree versus playing like a Yaddak player, which requires a bit of farming. Again, let's see how this turns out later in the match. So Bardur gets roads as well as riding. So Bardur is going to capture this or enter the city. Let me just pause super quickly. How many cities do Bardur have? So Bardur has 3 cities and has entered their has 4 cities and has entered their 5th. All right, Yaddak is at a huge disadvantage, and I think that disadvantage comes from the fact that they didn't upgrade to farming, but went with hunting instead. Again, let's see how this plays out, but I don't think that would have been the best move here. Goes for forestry. Again, playing like a Bardur player, probably not the best way to go here. So Bardur captures that Yaddak city, puts them at 5 cities, upgrades their other city, goes for let me just the Explorer. I'm not a huge fan of the Explorer, but it may have been a good move at this point, considering how at this point they own most of the map. If you look at it, it is 5 cities to 3, right? And there's not a whole lot of chance Yaddak has at this point. So the exploration would have been good for intel. Yaddak captures the city over on the left-hand side here. Let me just pause. So Yaddak captured the city. Of course, Bardur knows this, as well as connects this city up and upgrades it. So, trying to get their economy turned around. Again, I don't think there's a chance because they went to the forestry upgrade versus getting farming, which would have been the obvious choice. 50-50 hindsight or 20-20 hindsight, whatever it is, it's very clear that Yaddak is a inexperienced Yaddak player here. Let's keep watching. So Yaddak captures that one back, that city back. Discovers fishing. I don't know why. Let me just pause. That may have been a mistake as well. Looking at the available fishing spots, there's 2 here. So on one layer, it may have been to upgrade the city. Again, that could have been much easier had Yaddak got farming. And then the other fishing spot is right here. Again, that one may have made sense in order to get this one to a super unit. But there's no fishing spots in here, so I think that mistake of going for hunting and forestry instead of farms in that early game is really causing most of these problems. Again, at this point, it is turn 10, right? And the North Star of 30 stars per turn, Yaddak hasn't hit at all. We'll see on the next turn if Bardur is any closer there. So this is interesting. So Yaddak at the end of their turn is getting 18 stars per turn, right? But Bardur is getting 15 at the start of turn 11 here. Bardur is in first once their turn starts. Oh no, they're in first just altogether, right? So Bardur enters in that city, destroys the unit, starts pushing their units up, upgrades up here, obviously goes to the resources. Border growth. I thought that was an interesting play. We'll see how the rest of that turns out. They discover fishing. Yaddak is upgrading their capital city, and then is going for the super unit. Hopefully that helps them, right? Let me just pause. Hopefully that helps them. It may not have been that smart of an idea for Yaddak to push for the super unit. There are already archers by Bardur on the map, and so giants do particularly terrible against archers because it's just how you counter them, right? So pushing hard for a giant may not have been the best move. I could see why it was done. Let's see how the rest of this turns out, but it looks like at this point, it's close. But I think just that early mistake of farms is not upgrading to farming is really where the rest of this game is going to play out. So Yaddak upgrades this city down here in the bottom, discovers climbing. Bardur captures this city up here, goes for the Explorer. Now is basically able to see the entire map, everything that Yaddak is doing. Back to Yaddak's turn. Discovers riding. Bardur captures or enters this city, captures. Let me just pause. Recaptures this one city over here. Has entered this one down here. It's pretty close to the end of the game here. Let's see how this turns out. Upgrades the city. I wonder if they're going to go for the city wall. Resources that make sense. They're pushing the economy. Yaddak prevents the city capture. Bardur upgrade. Whoa! Are we? Hold on. They're at 6,000. My North Star is generally at 8,000 or 7,500. You could get away with it to start pushing for those parks. This putting a park here is nothing but a flex. I think they see that they're winning this game, and so they're just doing, having some fun at this point. We'll see how the rest of this turns out, but that was a flex, right? 10 points for style right there. Upgrade the captured city, goes for the super unit. Brilliant move. Captures that second city, or enters that second city. Yaddak connects all their cities together. So let me just pause. I don't know if you saw that. Yaddak moved the giants from this square down here up to this square right here. Now, if this was not archers, this would make sense, right? So if these were units here were, warriors or swordsmen or, riders, anything that's melee, that may make sense as a potential defense or an offensive move, because these units will either have to attack and then take, the giant's damage, which is usually around 10, depending on defensive bonus, or have to move back to not get hit next turn, or move, the ones you don't want to get hit next turn back, right? But this is why, this is actually why archers do well against giants, is because, or this is why it's their counter. These archers can just move back one square and then all hit the giant anyways, right? And so that's going to be 15 points of damage the next turn, right? So in 2 turns with these 3 archers, this giant will be dead. Assuming this giant doesn't attack it, which, we'll see if that happens or not, but I think that was just an amateur move. Yaddak at this point, it looks like they are checking out. Let's see how the rest of this goes. Yeah, like I mentioned, they moved their archers back and then just attacked with the giant. It clearly checking out. Bardur upgrades. I don't know why they... Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't go with the population growth here, then upgrading it again. I'll be super honest. I think at this point, Bardur is just trying to flex, right? They almost have double the points, right? When you look at the cities, they have 6-4, and that's soon to be 7-3. They could end this game in a couple turns had, if they went and upgraded this and then even flexed and got the park, right? I think they could end this pretty quickly. Let's see how the rest of this turns out. Back on Yaddak's turn. Gets free spirit. I think Yaddak is going to try and go for chivalry. Let me just go back a little bit. They have 18 stars per turn. At this point, their economy might be able to handle this, right? assuming they don't lose any city. 18 stars per turn is two knights, which, given how there are a number of we'll call them chains, right? I think this is a better one. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. A knight may make sense. What Yaddak doesn't know, however, is that Bardur can see virtually their entire map, right? There's not a single city here that Bardur can't see, right? And so Yaddak may be thinking, hey, if I surprise them, if I'm, I know they can see this one, but I don't think they can see this one. They haven't gotten down there yet. If I can surprise them with a knight and do maybe a knight chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because I don't think Yaddak can actually. Oh, they can. So so they see 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though there's also one here. Surprise them with that knight chain or something like that, then we might be able to turn this game around, right? Because that would take quite a bit of stars away, as well as this city could be taken through a knight chain right here. So between 2 knights, you might be able to capture this city and this city, and have Bardur go on the defense for a bit. I think that was the logic there, but again, with the way Bardur is playing, and can already see the entire map, there's no way to surprise Bardur with the knights. So again, let's see how this plays out. Let me just go back a second. Go back to auto. So again, it's back on Yaddak's turn. They move some things around, but they didn't buy a knight at the end of that turn. There's no knights. Did they upgrade? No, they haven't upgraded. So again, let's see how this turns out. So Bardur captures the capital, goes for an upgrade. They're doing the customs houses, right? Really, really pumping up their economy. They're hitting 40 stars per turn. That's really good. Even though it's turn 17, it may be a bit late. They've also captured down here. This happened just recently. Again, let's keep watching. So Yaddak goes for the chivalry now and puts a knight right here. All right, again, Yaddak thinks at this point, because nothing's come down this far yet, Yaddak thinks at this point that they can't see that they have a knight, right? If I go up here and watch what happens, suddenly everything starts spacing out as if they just knew that was happening, and they discover strategy, right? Again, let me pause. So they discover strategy and start putting defensive spots here and here as if they know that that Yaddak has a knight, right? A good counter for knights is defense. These defenders. They also get one over here. They can just afford to buy any tech they want at 41 stars per turn. Yaddak at this point should have resigned. It's pretty clear, given that everything they've done has been countered. This is a Bardur matchup right now. Bardur gets that nice bonus down here with both an upgrade and a customs house. Gets another customs house here, getting on 51 stars per turn. Captures Yaddak's capital. Upgrades. It goes for border growth. Let me just pause. This is a little mean at this point. 8 cities to 3, right? they could have gone. Let me just show right here. There's really not a whole lot of reasons to go for border growth, unless you're going for this whale here, which they aren't. Because if they did, they would have already gotten it. They could have gone for population growth for both here and this one up here, right? And since population growth gets you, if they went with the park instead of the giant, that would have been around 700 points. I would have put them at 9,000. Plus with whatever they would have bought to upgrade this one, probably a port, that would have put them probably close to 10,000, right? At this point, the fact that there's another couple turns, it's a little mean. They could have ended the game by now. Yaddak's doing, I don't know, something, throwing units at them. Again, let me just pause for a second. Yaddak still thinks that they can hide a knight here, thinking that both this area or this whole area down here is all hidden from Bardur, and it's not, because they had the explorer. So I guess this is a last ditch effort to wait for a bit of a night chain before taking a bunch of units. Bardur enters in that city. The giant comes down here. They go for navigation, and Yaddak sees the writing on the walls and resigns. I think the biggest mistake that happened here on Yaddak's end is that early game going for forestry and hunting instead of farming and getting the early game economy, both for this spot and down here, as well as eventually down here with these two spots for farming. Yaddak clearly played like a Bardur player, and instead of going up their normal tech tree or what's typically available in Bardur's in Yaddak space, assumed there would be more hunting and trees. So it was. I think this Bardur player was pretty good. Really good player. Knew what they were doing. Was able to counter virtually everything the Yaddak player did. But the Yaddak player had some early game mistakes and was just not able to ever come back. If you want me to comment on your Polytopia matches, please put them in the comments. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button and like the video. I'll see you in the next one.